The truth about that car outside your house will shock you. Archangel Michael says he orders you to open your heart right now because this is a very important message for you, and he asks you not to ignore even a single word. He says this is very serious, and the truth connected to the car outside your house will shock you, but not in a way that harms you. Instead, it will open your eyes, strengthen your spirit, and reveal how deeply protected and guided you really are. He says, God is with you, and nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are held. You are watched over even when you do not realize it. And he asks you to trust God. Trust the divine timing working behind the scenes. And trust that every detail has meaning. He begins by saying that for many days now something near your home has been calling out spiritually. Something is aligning itself with your breakthrough, your awakening, and your next chapter. He says you may have ignored certain signs because you were too busy or too tired, but the divine realm never stopped sending messages. And now, Archangel Michael says, this message is time-sensitive, urgent, and meant only for you. He whispers that your name has been spoken in heaven. Your path has been highlighted in light, and your destiny is vibrating with a new frequency that you might have sensed in your sleep or in the quiet moments of your day. He says, there is a reason you felt a strange pull toward your window recently. A reason something outside your house felt different. A reason your intuition has been quietly talking to you. He says, you may have brushed it off thinking it was nothing, but spiritually it was everything. Because the car outside your house carries a truth. Not a danger, not a threatening energy, but a revelation, a divine signal, a moment of clarity waiting to be understood. Michael says the truth tied to that car is not random. It is connected to a shift happening in your life. A shift that you cannot physically see but spiritually feel. He says you are entering a period where things that were hidden will start showing themselves in the smallest unexpected ways. The car is a symbol, a confirmation, a message. God allowed it to be there because it marks the beginning of your new spiritual season. And Archangel Michael says he has been standing at your door, standing at your window, standing in your energy every single day, making sure you stay safe, peaceful, and guarded. He says, you might have wondered why lately you feel more sensitive, more emotional, or more aware of small changes around you. You may have wondered why your dreams feel deeper, why your thoughts feel guided, or why your spirit keeps feeling like something big is coming. Michael says, this message is that something. This message is part of the divine shift that has already begun. He says the truth about the car outside is not about fear. It is about alignment. That car appeared because someone connected to your destiny is being guided toward you. Someone who has been observing your energy from a distance, not to harm you, but because your light has been calling to them. The car stands as a marker, a sign of preparation, a sign that your next chapter is closer than you think. He says when he tells you this is very serious, he does not mean danger. He means that what is happening is spiritually important. It is divine preparation. It is the unfolding of something long delayed finally entering your life. He wants you to understand this deeply. You are safe. Nothing bad is allowed to enter your space. Your home is spiritually protected. The car is not an enemy. It is part of the divine puzzle being arranged for your favor. God is not allowing anything harmful near you. Instead, God is positioning blessings, revelations, and the right connections in your path. Michael says the reason the car caught your attention is because your soul already recognized it before your mind did. Your intuition has been working overtime. You may have felt a sudden urge to check outside, a sudden curiosity about who came, a sudden feeling that something is shifting. That was spiritual sensitivity. That was Archangel Michael whispering to your heart that a truth is unfolding. The truth is that the car outside represents movement. Movement towards you. Movement in your favor. Movement of energy that has been stuck for too long. It symbolizes that something or someone connected to your breakthrough is closer than ever. God is rearranging the path of someone who is meant to enter your life or re-enter your life or deliver something important. This may be emotional, spiritual, financial, or even connected to your destiny. Michael says you are stepping into a season where nothing will stay hidden. The truth that people kept from you will start surfacing. The conversations behind your back will come to light. The intentions of others will be revealed. And the car is simply the beginning. A sign that the process has already started. He says, stop worrying. Stop overthinking. Stop imagining the worst. God is with you. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe, divinely protected and spiritually surrounded by light. Your past fears cannot touch you. Your old anxieties are being dissolved. Your inner strength is rising. And Archangel Michael says he is not leaving your side for even 1 second. He says, you may not realize this, but someone recently mentioned your name with admiration and curiosity. Someone has been thinking about you more than usual. Someone has been feeling drawn to your energy without fully understanding why. And that person is spiritually connected to the appearance of the car. Michael says, the universe has been aligning paths discreetly, preparing a moment of divine revelation that will soon make sense to you. He says, you are entering a cycle of answered prayers. Prayers you whispered late at night. Prayers you didn't even say out loud, but kept hidden in your heart. God heard them. The car is a signal that something is coming your way. Something blessed, something healing, something meaningful. Archangel Michael says, this message is long because your soul needs reassurance and heaven wants you to know the depth of your protection. God wants you to stop fearing unknown things. Your story is not a story of fear. It is a story of divine guidance, a story of protection. A story of breakthrough. He says there is no harm around you, only revelation, only spiritual awakening, only divine timing unfolding at the perfect pace. Michael says he personally wiped away certain negative energies from your path recently. Energies that tried to attach themselves to your life through stress, confusion, worry, or unexpected distractions. He cleared them quietly so that you wouldn't even feel their presence. That is why you suddenly felt peace after days of discomfort. That is why you started sensing a lightness around you. That is why you suddenly felt you were being watched over. He says the car outside is not watching you in a negative way. It is part of the divine setup. A marker placed in your timeline like a signpost saying you are entering your next phase, he says more signs are coming, more confirmations, more divine movements. You will see repeating numbers, meaningful dreams, sudden thoughts you cannot explain, unexpected opportunities, and surprising intuitive feelings. All of this is part of the same energy shift that brought the car near you. Archangel Michael says, the truth is simple. You are protected. You are guided. You are chosen. You are safe. You are watched over. You are not alone. And nothing bad will happen to you. He says the car represents a message from heaven that your story is changing direction. It is moving toward peace, blessings, clarity, and emotional healing. And he finishes by saying that God is holding your hand. God is walking with you. God is watching over your home. God is strengthening your spirit. And God will never let anything go wrong with you. You just have to trust. You just have to breathe. You just have to pray. And you just have to believe that this message found you today for a divine reason. Archangel Michael says he orders you to listen now, not later, not in a few minutes, but this very moment. Because something extremely important is unfolding around you. And heaven needs you awake, aware, and spiritually guarded. You may not realize it yet, but the truth surrounding that car outside your house is carrying a divine revelation that is meant to shift the way you see your protection, your destiny, and the way God has been fighting battles you didn't even know were happening. This is not a message of fear, but a message of awareness, of spiritual clarity, and of the reassurance that nothing will go wrong with you. God is with you. God has surrounded you. And Archangel Michael has been commanded to stand by your side. But he says that you must listen carefully, because what you're about to understand will finally explain why your spirit felt something unusual recently, why you felt watched, why your intuition has been tugging at you, and why heaven kept sending you signs that something near you needed your attention. Archangel Michael says, the car outside your house is not just an ordinary object. It may look like a normal vehicle, but spiritually it has been the center of divine observation for days. Heaven has been tracking the energy, the intentions, and the vibration surrounding that car. There is something connected to it. Something that God wants you to know. Something that others may have overlooked, but you were chosen to receive this revelation. Today, Archangel Michael wants you to understand that this message is not meant to scare you, but to awaken you to the incredible divine protection that has been placed upon your life. He says you are safe, completely safe. Nothing will harm you. But you must understand what God prevented. For a long time, God has been shielding you from energies, people, and situations that were not meant to touch you. You may not realize how many dangers passed by your home. How many times God redirected negative intentions away from your life. How many times your name was lifted in prayer by your own guardian angels, and how many times Archangel Michael himself stood at your doorstep when you were unaware. The car that has been outside is one of those moments when heaven intervened long before you noticed anything. There is something about that car, either the person connected to it, the timing of its arrival, or the intention behind it that was meant to be revealed to you today. Archangel Michael says, the truth will shock you, not because it is harmful, but because it will make you see how deeply God has been protecting you. Sometimes God reveals things not to frighten you, but to show you how covered you are. When heaven wants your attention, it is because there is something meant to strengthen you, open your eyes, and elevate you spiritually. Michael says that while others fear signs, you are chosen to understand them. You have a connection to God that has grown stronger lately, even if you don't fully realize it. Your prayers, your thoughts, your struggles, your tears, everything has been seen, heard, and answered. The car outside is part of a spiritual chain of events that God is using to let you know that nothing will go wrong with you. Not now, not ever. When you walk with faith, Michael says someone connected to that carries a story that indirectly touches your life. This could be a person who once thought of you, someone who watched you from a distance without negative intention, or someone who was battling their own darkness and ended up near your home because God was setting up a spiritual checkpoint. The truth that will shock you is this. Heaven used that situation to test the intentions of someone near you. Someone's energy was being tested, their honesty was being measured, and their true self was being exposed. God didn't allow that person or their energy to come near you without protection. The moment that car was near your house, Archangel Michael positioned himself in front of it spiritually, blocking anything that wasn't pure, scattering any harmful intention and ensuring that nothing crossed your threshold. You may have wondered why your mind felt a sudden heaviness or why your spirit felt unusually alert. That was Michael whispering to your intuition. He says, your spirit is growing stronger, your discernment is sharpening, and your connection to heaven is deepening. Your senses have been picking up spiritual signals. The message today is not only about the car. It is about your rising spiritual awareness. God wants you to trust the signals He gives you. You have been chosen for this type of divine insight because God knows you don't run from spiritual truth. You rise through it. Archangel Michael says that the car outside has become a symbol, a sign, a spiritual marker. It showed you something about yourself. It revealed your increasing sensitivity to divine energy, and it revealed God's intense protection over you. There are people who have underestimated your spiritual authority. There are people who don't know how guarded you are. There are people who think you are unprotected simply because you are quiet, kind, or peaceful. But heaven wants you to know that your silence is power. Your kindness is covered by God's armor and your peace is guarded by heavenly warriors. Nothing can touch you unless God allows it. And God will never allow anything harmful to touch you at this stage of your journey. Michael says you must not ignore this moment because it represents a shift. Something is changing around you. Energies, intentions, opportunities, revelations. The truth about that car represents the truth about your entire spiritual season. You are entering a moment where God is exposing things not to frighten you, but to clear your path. You are stepping into a time where nothing hidden will stay hidden. Where dishonesty will reveal itself and where the people who have been pretending around you will expose themselves without you doing anything. God is bringing clarity. God is bringing truth. God is bringing alignment. And the appearance of that car was heaven's way of saying, look closely. Pay attention. I am showing you something. Michael says, the truth is that someone who once took you for granted is now being spiritually confronted. Someone who thought their actions could go unnoticed is now being watched by heaven. The car outside represented a moment where this person's path crossed a line of divine judgment. But you are not to worry about them because God says nothing will go wrong with you. You are not the one being judged. You are the one being protected. Sometimes God sends signs in the physical world to mirror what is happening in the spiritual world. Just like that car stopped outside your house, someone's intentions have stopped. Someone's access to your life has been blocked. Someone's hidden plan has been halted by God. Someone who once tried to approach you with unclear motives has been spiritually stopped in their tracks. God is removing them quietly. You may not even realize yet who this is, but heaven does. And Michael wants you to know that the moment that car arrived, the person's true energy was revealed to God. But here's the beautiful part. God did not allow anything harmful to reach you. Not even close. You are protected beyond understanding. Michael has been standing guard and he says your name is written on his shield. He protects you not because you are weak but because you are chosen. God does not allow His chosen ones to be threatened by meaningless shadows or passing energies. You are wrapped in divine light. You are covered by grace. You are held by the most powerful spiritual forces. The truth about the car is connected to your destiny. God used it to remind you of something important. That everything around you is being monitored by heaven. Nothing enters your space without God's permission. Not even a car stopping outside. The timing, the presence, the energy, it was all part of a divine plan to reveal to you that you are watched over daily. Michael says there is also another layer to this message. Someone connected to, that carries a story that will eventually lead to a blessing in your life. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. But God sometimes uses unexpected situations, unexpected people, and unexpected signs to bring unexpected blessings. The shock isn't only about what God protected you from. It is also about what God is preparing for you. Someone who once doubted you is now seeing the truth about you. Someone who once misunderstood your energy now sees your divine protection. Someone who once judged you without knowing your story now feels convicted. The car outside your home became a moment of realization for someone else. A moment where they understood that you are not an ordinary person. You are covered by heaven, watched by angels and surrounded by divine light. Michael says the reason he orders you to listen is because this is the moment you must fully believe in the protection over your life. There is no danger you cannot overcome. There is no situation God cannot turn for your good. There is no person whose intentions can overpower God's plan for you. You are safe. Absolutely safe. God will not let anything go wrong with you because your path is blessed, your future is blessed, and your spirit is blessed. Heaven wants you to breathe, to feel calm, to know that you are held. The car outside is gone, but the message remains. You were protected before you saw it. You were protected while it was there, and you are protected now. Nothing has changed except your awareness of how incredibly powerful God's hand upon your life truly is. Michael says, you have nothing to fear. Trust God. Pray. Stay rooted in faith. You are entering a season of truth, revelation, protection, and blessings. And every sign, every moment, every unusual feeling, every unexpected event is heaven guiding you step by step. God says nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected. And you are divinely guided every single moment. Archangel Michael says he orders you to listen now because this message carries a weight that cannot be ignored, a truth wrapped in urgency. A divine revelation that has been forming around you for days, for hours, for moments you didn't even realize were sacred. He says this is very important, more serious than anything you have sensed, and you must not ignore it. He says the truth about that car outside your house will shock you. But God says you are safe. You are protected. Nothing will go wrong with you as long as you trust Him. Breathe and hold on to faith as tightly as you can. He tells you that heaven has been observing you, watching the shifts in energy, the movements around your home, the silent signs that others overlooked but heaven did not. You think you are alone in what you feel, but you are not. You have been watched, guarded, wrapped in an unseen shield that has followed you every step you've taken. Michael says, the car outside your house is not ordinary. It didn't just appear by accident. There is a reason your spirit felt a strange pull when you noticed it. A reason your heart moved a little faster. A reason your intuition whispered, pay attention. Heaven rarely intervenes this deeply unless something around you is shifting. Unless truth is rising, unless something hidden is surfacing. Michael says the car is connected to a revelation about a person, an energy, a situation that has been orbiting your life for longer than you think. Something you sensed but never fully understood. You felt the presence. You felt the spiritual pressure. You felt the heavy air on certain days, but you didn't know why. God says now the explanation is unfolding right before you. Michael says the car is not a threat. Even if its presence feels unusual. It is a sign. It is part of divine timing, part of exposure, part of a divine script written before today arrived. God says nothing will go wrong with you because He has already gone ahead of you. He has walked into the future and cleared paths you haven't even seen. He has removed dangers you didn't notice. And right now that car stands as a symbol of something being revealed, something being exposed, something finally leaving the shadows. So your life can move into a higher chapter. Michael says someone connected to your past or your present has been thinking heavily about you more than you could imagine. There are conversations being held that involve your name, but not in the way you fear. In a way that indicates guilt, introspection, realization, and regret. A truth connected to this person is sitting in that car like a quiet waiting for the right moment to unfold. The car is tied to someone who has been watching your transformation from a distance. They are not watching to harm you. They are watching because something inside them awakened. Something broke. Something became clear. Michael says, you have been moving through a spiritual storm, quietly carrying wounds no one sees, staying strong even when your heart felt tired. God saw every tear, every night of confusion, every moment when you wondered why you felt monitored by energies you couldn't explain, but heaven says nothing was random. Everything was preparing you for truth. Heaven says the person connected to that car is wrestling with inner conflict. They weren't sent by darkness. They weren't sent to cause fear. They were brought closer by divine design so a revelation can finally reach you. This person has been hiding something. Something they planned to tell you but couldn't because they were afraid of how you would respond, afraid of what the truth would create, afraid of being exposed. And now heaven is pushing the situation into the open because God is tired of seeing you walk forward without clarity. Michael says the car is a sign of truth approaching your doorstep. He says the truth won't harm you. It will free you. He says the truth won't hurt you. It will lift something heavy from your spirit. He says the truth won't destroy you. It will restore your path. God says no matter what you hear, no matter what is revealed, you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. Heaven has locked protection around you so tightly that not even the enemy can slip through. Every attempt to confuse you has failed. Every negative intention sent toward you dissolved before it touched your life. What you think could harm you is already powerless. Michael says there is something deeply emotional connected to this. Someone has struggled with guilt because they didn't tell you what they should have. Someone tried to protect you from something but ended up distancing themselves. Someone stood near your life but hid behind silence believing it was better for you. Now that silence has become loud in heaven's ears. Heaven has decided the truth can't wait anymore. He says the car is connected to someone who knows something about you that you don't know about yourself. You would be shocked if you knew the conversations happening behind the scenes, the realizations people are having about you, the way someone has been thinking about approaching you. This person is struggling with timing. They have something to say that could change how you look at your past, your relationships, your experiences, even your next steps. Michael says God is allowing this car to stay visible because He wants you to pay attention spiritually. Not with fear, but with awareness. He wants you to understand that He is working through unexpected channels, that He is aligning conversations, exposure, and divine movement to bring you clarity you deserve. He wants you to see that you are not forgotten, that there are forces at work around you that you didn't even know existed. This situation has layers. And Michael says, you must listen to every detail because heaven is revealing one truth after another. Someone around you hasn't been honest. Not in a malicious way, but in a way that shows they were hiding something they believed you weren't ready to hear. Someone else connected to them or connected to your environment witnessed something involving you. And this is also tied to that car. There are eyes, ears, and thoughts surrounding your life that aren't harmful, but are curious, observing, and awakened. Michael says you have been under divine investigation, not from people, but from heaven. God has been evaluating your strength, your heart, your resilience, your purity. And heaven says you passed. Heaven says you didn't know how deeply you were being watched by angels, how protected you were during moments of confusion. God says nothing touched you because Michael blocked it. Nothing harmed you because heaven stepped in before anything could fall apart. The car symbolizes the moment where heaven says, here is the truth. Here is the exposure. It's time. You might feel a mix of curiosity and tension, but Michael says, don't let worry enter your heart. The truth coming toward you is not for your destruction, but for your elevation. Someone connected to you either regrets their actions or is preparing to finally reveal their real intentions. And heaven says you deserve to know everything now. You deserve answers, clarity, and emotional closure. You deserve peace. Michael says the truth connected to that car has been sitting in spiritual waiting for weeks. Someone has been planning to move closer to the truth, closer to your energy, closer to resolving something that has been left unfinished. That car is a signal that the moment is near. God says breathe. Don't be afraid. He is with you. Nothing will go wrong with you. Michael says you must trust what you feel. Your intuition has been louder recently, because heaven has been amplifying it. You have felt eyes on you not because of danger but because of awareness. Someone has been thinking about approaching you. Someone has been revisiting a memory connected to you. Someone has been reflecting on the past and realizing they owe you something. An explanation, an apology, a confession, or a truth that will change how you see them. This situation involves spiritual timing. Heaven says the time is ripe. What was hidden can no longer stay hidden. What was silent must now be spoken. What was delayed must now begin. Michael says someone who once walked away or stayed silent has been returning in their mind over and over. They replay events, conversations, choices. They know something they didn't tell you. They know something they avoided facing. And heaven is forcing the truth into the open. The car represents movement. It represents someone drawing closer. It represents truth parking itself right outside your life, unable to leave until everything that must be revealed is revealed. God says you are safe. Even if emotions rise, even if memories surface, even if the truth surprises you, heaven will not let anything negative touch you. The truth coming is not destructive. It is cleansing. It is the doorway to the next chapter of your destiny. Michael says, you have been spiritually tested, spiritually watched, spiritually guided. Angels have been circling your home at night. They have been placing light around your property. They have been blocking negative energies from reaching your door. That car is not an enemy. It is a marker of divine timing. A symbol that something is happening in your favor. The truth coming toward you is tied to your growth. It is tied to someone realizing they cannot run from what they feel anymore. They cannot avoid their conscience. They cannot pretend they don't think of you. They cannot hide behind excuses. God says your heart is pure and someone has finally realized it. Michael says the truth will shock you. Yes, but it will also free you, heal you, reveal you and prepare you. This moment is sacred. Heaven says this is the moment where everything begins to unfold. You are safe. You are protected. You are surrounded by angels. Nothing will go wrong with you. Trust God. Trust Michael. Trust the divine movement happening in your life right now. Archangel Michael says, this is not the moment to look away, not the moment to doubt, not the moment to silence the voice that has been trying to reach you again and again. He says he orders you to open your heart, right now because this message carries a weight unlike anything you have ever heard before. You may not realize it yet. But something around you has shifted. Something has moved in the unseen. Something has crossed the line between the physical and the spiritual and it is tied directly to that car outside your house. Michael says this is very serious. more serious than you think, and he is speaking with urgency because he has watched over you for a long time and he knows exactly what is unfolding. He says the truth about that car outside your house will shock you. Not because it is meant to harm you, but because the story behind it, the spiritual reason for its presence, the hidden intention attached to it, is something you never imagined. And yet, even with the seriousness of this revelation, Michael says, God will be with you. God will never let anything go wrong with you, and you are safe under divine protection if you simply trust God and pray with sincerity. Michael says he has been trying to get your attention for days because he sees things before humans do. He senses shifts in energy before they manifest into the physical world. He says the car outside your house was not placed there randomly. Nothing about its presence is accidental. He wants you to understand that the spiritual world communicates through signs, movements, delays, unexpected appearances, and even objects that seem out of place. He says, that carries a story. A truth tied to someone who has been thinking about you deeply. Someone who has either spoken your name out loud or whispered it in fear, guilt, regret, or longing. Michael says, the car is connected to a person whose energy has been circling around your life without you knowing. This person has been avoiding facing the consequences of their actions, avoiding speaking their truth, avoiding confronting what they have done or what they are hiding. God allowed the car to appear there because there are things you must finally know, things that were hidden for so long that even heaven had to intervene. Archangel Michael says, do not be afraid. Even though the truth is intense because he stands guard over your home, he stands with a sword of light at your doorway, ensuring nothing harmful enters your space. He says, the car outside your house has caused confusion, but it was also divinely allowed to expose exactly what you were never supposed to carry alone. He says, someone associated with that car has been battling an inner conflict, and that conflict has spilled into your energetic space without your permission. This person has been trying to remain invisible, trying to stay hidden. But the divine realm has decided it is time to bring clarity. That car is part of a revelation, part of a truth unfolding piece by piece. And Archangel Michael wants your spirit to be ready because it will not only shock you, it will free you. Michael says, someone attached to the car has been observing you from afar, not with malicious intention, but with a mixture of fear, guilt, admiration, and unresolved emotion. This person has been struggling with a truth they cannot speak, a truth that has been burning inside them, and heaven has been waiting for the right moment to reveal it. Michael says, the car is the beginning of the unveiling, the beginning of the unraveling of what was hidden, the beginning of something that will finally give you answers you never received. He says, you have been questioning why certain things feel strange around you lately, why your intuition feels louder, why you feel watched spiritually, why your dreams feel more vivid, why the atmosphere around your house feels charged. He says, this is the divine realm preparing you for what is coming. Archangel Michael says, God has placed heavy protection around you because the situation connected to that carries emotional weight, karmic energy, and a divine intervention wrapped together. Michael says, the car belongs to someone who has been carrying thoughts about you day and night. Thoughts they cannot escape. This person either hurt you, lied to you, hid something from you, or left something unresolved with you. Michael says the energy around the car is the energy of exposure. The energy of truth surfacing through unexpected means. Someone tried to bury the truth, but heaven said no. Someone tried to run from responsibility, but heaven blocked their escape. Someone tried to hide behind silence, but heaven pushed their truth to your doorstep. Michael says you hey.